Anis Norisha Bendini Baslim. My ID number is BMF2011025. I will present about the background of our chosen product. Our first product is RHB Retirement Series Islamic Equity Fund. The launch date for this product is at 26 October 2001. This product is suitable for members who want to invest in a diverse portfolio of Sharia compliance assets, and these members are willing to take on moderate to high risk in their investment and also prefer long-term capital growth. The category of this product is Feeder Fund Equity Sharia Compliance. The name of the target fund is Dana Islam and the manager of Dana Islam is RHB Asset Management SDN Berhad. Lastly, the benchmark of this product is FTSE Bursa Malaysia Emas Syariah Index. Next, for the second product, we choose Principal Islamic PRS Plus Equity for Class A. The launch date of this product is 12 November 2012. Class A is for individuals who have reached the age of 18 on the date of opening a private pension account. This fund is suitable for members that searching for Sharia compliant investment. The category and the benchmark for this product is the same with the first product, which is Feeder Fund Equity Sharia Compliance and FTSE Bursa Malaysia Emas Syariah Index. The difference between this Class A and Class C is the sale charge and management fees. Lastly, the members can invest based on their retirement needs, risk appetite, and also age profile.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Aisyah binti Azri. Number ID is BMF 2011-013. I will show you guys about the performance of the products of Principal Islamic PRS Plus Equity Class A and RHB Retirement Series Islamic Equity Funds. As you can see, this is funds performance of Principal Islamic PRS Plus Equity Class A, and year to date for performance as date 31 March 2022. We have here 8.30% and benchmark which is negative 9.24%. Here also we have an AV history of graph view in 3 years, and also for list view in 3 years. And income distribution history we have read October 2021 and until December 2020. For gross and per unit 2.50 and also 3.36. Here we have RHB Retirement Series Islamic Equity Funds, which is a NAV price we have 0.4288 in price history right now. And also here is fund information, and this is about graph chart for RHB Retirement Series Islamic Equity Fund performance chart over the last 3 years. And we have here annualized returns, cumulative performance, calendar year returns, and also historical NAV movement, which is MYR.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Nasar binti Roslan. My ID number is BMF 2011024. So I will present about features and characteristic product that we choose. So the RHB Retirement Series is a non-core fund that falls into the category of feeder fund equity that complies with Sharia. Thus, member who invest in this RHB Retirement Series must be willing to accept medium to high risk in their investment. The member's current retirement age is 55 years. However, it may be changed to any required retirement age from employment as defined by any written law. Also, there is no restriction on the number of times a member wishes to switch. All contributions made by member will be divided into 2 sub-accounts, which is sub-account A having 70% of its fund unavailable for pre-retirement withdrawal, and sub-account B having 30% of its fund available for pre-retirement withdrawal subject to payment and 8% tax penalty. During this cooling off period, members can use the right to cooling off by providing a letter and shall be paid within 10 days after receipt of the PPA permission by RHB AM. If the member wishes to change his mind about the contribution and the amount of payment is not less than the prescribed amount. Private retirement scheme that has been operated by another private retirement scheme provider after 1 year from the date of the member's first contribution to the scheme. Members are also allowed to make one transfer of funds from any private retirement scheme in each calendar year. This RHB retirement series has also benefited the applicants. In addition, the scheme also allow applicants to select funds according to their retirement needs, risk and age profile. Next product is Principal Islamic PRS Plus Equity by CIMB. The fund aims to provide long-term capital growth by investing in target funds with investment in Malaysian securities that complies with Sharia principle. Retirement savings are important because the lack of savings such as 2 out of 3 active members of the EPF is expected to fail to achieve a minimum pension of 1,000 per month to cover his life after retirement. Also, Muslims are advised to move to an Islamic fund rather than a conventional fund because dealing in conventional fund is prohibited by Sharia. This PRS Plus Equity Islamic Principal facilities member in saving for their retirement. The scheme provides things like tax saving, where tax relief of up to 3,000 per annum is allowed for personal contribution made into the scheme until year 2021. Next, the choice can be made by the members, as can personalize and select the combination of funds that suit the risk and return. The bank also has financial expertise, which is the asset fund managers who are award recipient and accredited. Lastly, good governance and flexibility because the scheme has allowed monthly contribution automatically. Furthermore, member can also contribute to the scheme by choosing one or more funds to contribute to. If a member requests that the bank choose the fund for him, the bank will assign the member's contribution to the default option 1 that correspond to their age. Therefore, members must be the eligibility requirements set by the CIMB Bank, as the individual must be at least 18 years old and above for them to be able to open a PRS account and start making contributions into the account. Meanwhile, individuals who wish to participate in this PRS only need to complete the form, sign and submit it to any authorized PRS consultant at any CIMB bank, trust scheme consultant or our distributor approved by the authorities.
What difference between RHB Retirement Series, Islamic Equity Fund, and Principal Islamic PRS Plus Equity Class A are from the aspect launch date, asset allocation, minimum subsequent contribution, and also management fees. The launch date for RHB Retirement is 26 October 2001, but for Principal Islamic PRS Plus Equity Fund for Class A is 12 November 2012. The asset allocation for RHB is investment in unit of Dana Islam is at least 95% of the NAV, and the investment in liquid include Islamic money market, instrument and placement of cash is 1% to 5% of the NAV. But for the Principal Islamic PRS Plus Equity Fund, at least 85% of the fund NAV will be invested in the target fund, up to 15% of the fund's NAV. The minimum subsequent contribution for RHB Retirement and Principal Islamic PRS Plus Equity Fund is RM100 and RM50. Lastly, for the management fees, 1.5% per annum of the NAV of the fund RHB Retirement Series Islamic Equity Fund, and 1.4% per annum of the fund's NAV for the Principal Islamic PRS Plus Equity Fund Class A.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I'm Anwardina Humaira with my ID number BMF 2011004. I will present for the initial investment for our product in PRS. So, initial investment is the initial amount of money required to open a bank account or start a buying relationship. It refers as the initial investment. The terms early investment and long-term investment brokerage are commonly associated with two different industries. A deposit in the form of an initial deposit is usually required to establish ownership of a banking account. When talking about investing, the same initial deposit is required to create ownership. But it is often paid in hopes of driving future growth. So we go to the next about the RHB in PRS initial investment. Then I will explain about initial contribution PRS in RHB Bank. For RHB Bank, the simplest approach to register a PRS, which is private retirement scheme account, is to make an initial payment of 100 ringgit or any amount, which will be matched by the next donation of the same amount. If consumers have never invested in a PRS, they must complete out a pension scheme account opening form, which may be accessed on the PPA website or provided by RHB Bank. After that, the consumers who register a private pension account are urged to additionally open RHB AM account and submit a copy of their IC, identity card or passport. For verification purposes, the completed forms must be submitted to the RHB AM office. In addition, users and customers can make extra contribution by fulfilling or completing out the transaction form supplied in the corporate directory portion of the RHB Retirement Series disclosure document, which is available at RHB's office. The authorities can receive the completed form at the RHB office closest to the customer's location. So the customers or consumers mode of payment must be in the form of a check or bank draft. Fill in the entire name and IC number on the back of each check and send it to RHB Asset Management, Sdn Bhd. So next we go to the another financial institution in PRS initial investment. Then another financial institution for initial contributions for PRS is PRS Plus Equity Islamic, principal by CIMB Bank. So there are several classes accessible for the contribution offered in the PRS Plus Equity Islamic principle. Therefore, our group chose Class A as the contribution applicable in this PRS Plus Equity Islamic principle. So the required minimum for each fund that has been indicated in the Islamic principle of PRS Plus Equity is only 100 ringgit for Class A, which is similar to Class C, while the consumer only have to pay 50 ringgit for the following contribution. Just like a regular saving plan RSP, the indicate sum includes all the relevant fees in charge, such as sales fees and PPA account opening fees, and is subject to any applicable taxes. To put it another way or another meaning, the amount is the total of all fees and charge. When acquiring units or extra units, customer can request a cheaper price, which will be at the bank's exclusive option. The customer or consumer should be note, however, that the authorities of this division may accept or reject a lower amount without giving a reason, either generally or explicitly, and without prior warning to the customer or consumer. It must be completed along with the payment of contribution defined by PRS in the documents prescribed and sent according with time stipulate at the office for the management of the application procedure. In the processing of user application, it is strongly advised that to the new members to take another PPA account opening form to completing their PRS application. So that's all from me. We go to the next presenter.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamualaikum. My name is Norifa Adiba binti Tasrin and my number ID is BMF20111017. So I will present about the method of investment of these two products while showing the flow chart. So I will start with CIMB Principal Islamic PRS plus Equity Class A. As the first step, customers need to choose their investment approach. Either do it for me or do it yourself. Do it for me is by leaving the investment decision to the professional or the expert of the teams. Based on the customer's age, the suitable fund will be chosen automatically. When they reach the next age group, their investment will shift to be appropriate fund. The group age is divided into 3 groups, which is below 45 years, 45 years and above but have not reached 55 years, and 55 years and above. But this is Principal Islamic PRS plus Equity is included in Do It Myself, and there is no group of age. Basically, Do It Myself is when the customer can choose the fund that is good and suitable for them. This option is for those who are experienced and knowledgeable in investing. Other than that, they are also prefer to manage their own portfolio. Next is doing contributions. Customers need to save their money for their retirement, so they can contribute it and top up regularly. There are a few methods of contribution for customers, such as regular saving plans through saving account or payroll deductions, making lump sum contribution through check or online platform or bank draft, and redirect surplus EPF contribution from employers. For example, if the customer receive a 50% EPF contribution from their employer, they have the option of redirecting up. And the third step is that customer can nominate to have their PRS balance distributed to their loved ones in case the event of death. By the nomination, their loved one will have the ease of mind with trouble withdrawals from the customer's PRS account. So next is flowchart of investment for RHB Retirement Series Islamic Equity Fund if the customer wants to open an account. The first step is the customer have never invested in any private retirement scheme. Before they need to fill up a private pension account opening form. Customer can get the account opening form provided by the bank, RHB, or customers can download it from the Private Pension Administrator (PPA) website. The third step is that the customers are also required to fill up an account opening form with RHB Assets Management RHBAM with a photocopy of their identity card, IC or passport. After the customer have completed the form, they need to submit the form directly to the office. So the next explanation is when the customers want to add the contribution. The first step they need to take is RHB Bank will provide a transaction form and the customers will need to complete the form, and the form is available at the offices as it is listed in the corporate directory section in the disclosure document of the RHB Retirement Series. After completing and filling up the form, customers can hand it directly to any office of RHB or designated distributors. The next step is that customer need to make some payments and they must through checks or bank draft cross and made payable to RHB Asset Management Sdn Berhad Trust account, and it must be drawn in a bank that is located in Malaysia. The customer need to write their full name or an IC number on their back of each check. The last step is if the customer have invested through standing instructions such as regular saving plans, they need to fill up the standing instruction form from RHBAM and the RHB direct debit authorization form if applicable.